Hey, what's up guys? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be bringing the Knight back inside of Clash Royale. I honestly can't remember the last time I used the Knight inside any of the decks on my main account, but he did receive a couple of buffs in the most recent balancing changes. He's always been sort of weak near the top of the leaderboard, but there's a couple of players that have been using him, so I thought I would try him out inside of a couple of battles. Of course, the Knight actually is one of the few cards on my account that isn't maxed out. He's still level 12, and he's going to stay that way for now, but still, let's go ahead and use him inside of this deck. It's a pretty standard giant push deck. We've got the Elixir Collector and the Cannon, as well as the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Musketeer, all pretty standard cards. I'm going to go ahead and fireball down that Elixir Collector just because I had enough elixir to do so, but honestly, things are pretty even so far in the very beginning of this battle. Definitely an awkward start, not how I would start most matches, but honestly, no harm, no foul. Let's go ahead and get our own Elixir Collector ready on our side of the map, but he did play the Royal Giant, so we're actually going to have to stop that first. So Cannon's going to go down, Knight's going to go down, arrows for those minions. Shouldn't end up taking too much damage onto the tower, only 2 shots from the Royal Giant, as well as some chip damage from the Miner. And meanwhile, my Knight's actually going to run all the way down the lane and start hacking away at that tower. Looks like he's going to get 2 shots off right there and do a little bit of damage to help even the trade. So far so good. Let's get our fireball prep to kill those barbarians and get ready for the rest of the battle. So at this point, I don't know the exact elixir counts. I actually, well, now I know I'm definitely in the lead after he dropped that fireball, but definitely need to start playing my Elixir Collector farther away from my tower so he doesn't get value from that. But since he did play that fireball and I've got 1 more tick left on my Elixir Pump, we should be able to do a pretty massive push down the left-hand lane and to definitely get the ball rolling on that left-hand tower. So Giant is down, and we have 8 elixir. He still has not played a card. 9 elixir, he has still not played a card. Pretty much at 9.5 elixir, he played those goblins, so we have definitely like a 4 to 5 elixir lead right now. I'm going to drop my arrows onto the goblins. I've got the Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Musketeer, which are doing work onto the Miner. At this point, we've got a massive push going on his side of the map. My Musketeer should be able to kill those minions. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. has locked onto the tower, plus a full HP Knight. That tower is as good as gone. We've got another Giant going down the lane, and at this point, he's got nothing else to do but drop a fireball on his side of the map, because this game is over. So we were able to take advantage of the elixir lead we made in the very beginning, and then couple that with a pretty ill-advised Royal Giant push that he made on my side of the map. Made pretty quick work of Top Mania from Korea and ended up stealing 3 crowns from that battle. So next battle right here, looks like we have a better starting hand than last time. We got a couple of options for what we want to play. Either the Elixir Collector or the Giant. Of course, you guys know I love playing the Elixir Collector and is starting out with a little bit of defense. Meanwhile, he's going to go for a push with the Goblins as well as the Miner. And a really awkward placement of my Cannon means that it's not going to be able to help out in the very back. Now, the Princess will lock onto the Cannon. I guess that's one positive of that Cannon right there, but still not very well played by me. Knight's going to end up slapping down that Princess as well as get a hit or 2 off on the P.E.K.K.A. or Mini P.E.K.K.A. And at this point, just have to play a little bit more defense on our side of the map. I'm going to play maybe a Mini P.E.K.K.A. No, I'm going to leave that there. And he's actually going to get a hit off onto my tower. So he did get a hit, but keep in mind, he played that Zap, which is another 2 elixir when I think he was already struggling for elixir. And I actually misclicked my P.E.K.K.A. right there, my Mini P.E.K.K.A. I meant to drop him back into my hand and play the arrows instead. But it turns out to work pretty decently because now the Mini P.E.K.K.A. is completely unobstructed from those goblins. He actually makes a mistake by dropping his Mini P.E.K.K.A. Too close to my Mini P.E.K.K.A. So my Mini P.E.K.K.A. kills his before he can really do anything about it. And that means, coupled with all those mistakes, we're going to take the very first tower of the game. And now we definitely have a massive elixir lead going into the rest of the battle. So Knight's going to go down onto the Miner. Miner's going to be taken out. That Elixir Collector still should break even. He spent 3 elixir on the Miner. I spent 5 elixir on my pump, but I'm going to get 2 elixir back from my pump. So really not too big of a deal. Maybe even 3 elixir. And now I'm just going to prepare for another push on his side of the map and hopefully be able to clean some things up. So the Musketeer, maybe a little bit too close to those minions, but still no harm, no foul. She's going to have a little bit of HP. The Giant is going to be just in front of the Musketeer to be able to do work, as well as I'm going to prep my arrows for another toss right towards Looks like right towards the princess as well as those goblins. It's going to hit all three of those yet again for another massive arrow on his side of the map. He's going to drop a mini P.E.K.K.A, but not before my giant gets a couple of more punches off of the tower. And this game has gone pretty picture perfect so far. So Fireball is going to go down on the mini P.E.K.K.A. Knight, of course, is going to clean up that miner, as well as the Knight's going to be able to take enough hits from that mini P.E.K.K.A to protect the tower. He's definitely low on elixir right now, so we can drop our giant yet again, and he's actually going to drag the giant away with the cannon, which means I'm just going to have to focus on my musketeer, my mini P.E.K.K.A. doing some work. So mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to start running for the king tower as well as circling back to the goblins. He's got his minions on the left hand of the side of the map as well. At this point, I'm just completely concerned with getting the 3 crown. I really don't care about anything else. I'll drop my fireball. I'm going to go ahead and drop my musketeer, which might just turn around and shoot those goblins instead. So he's actually going to end up pretty close to taking this tower. He might even take this tower right now just because I was going for that second tower, but still, I know this game is pretty much over, and that was sort of just donating a crown tower to him. The game was pretty much in reach. I can just drop my fireball, I can drop my arrows, but this was just a classic example of messing around a little bit to try to get that second tower. So cannon's gonna go down, cycling back to the arrows. I guess this one was a little bit closer than I wanted it to be, but still, that's gonna wrap up the game, and honestly, give us a 2 crown to 1 victory. That should have been a 1 crown to 0, but still, that's a nice little battle right there. The knight did work defending against the mini P.E.K.K.A. as well as a couple of other situations, and even the royal giant inside of the last battle. Let's hop into another one right here against the Julens BSL from K2S Elites, and seeing as the giant is the only card we can play in the very beginning, I'm going to start with a push down the right hand lane and to continue from there. I don't know about you guys, but I play down the right hand lane in the very beginning pretty much in every single battle. That's probably not the best idea. I know it doesn't probably mean too much, but I guess if I was like playing in a tournament format, I'd probably want to switch things up a little bit, or my opponent could guess where I'm going to go. He's actually going to play his Inferno Tower, which means I can stick my Elixir Collector in the very back and wait for that to do work. Meanwhile, the Barbarians are going to go down. Should be able to take one down pretty low with the knight and then play my cannon to follow up. Waiting on my arrows to take out those minions. We should get a lot of value right there for those arrows. And he's barely even going to get a single shot off on my tower with that barbarian. So at this point, things are looking good. He spent a lot of elixir on that push, and we were able to sniff it out completely by only taking a single barbarian smack on my right-hand tower. I've got the giant ready. I've got my mini P.E.K.K.A. and my musketeer ready. It's just going to be tough to crack that Inferno Tower, so I've got to do a pretty good push if I want to end up taking this game. So giant is down, and we still again have our elixir collector. He's going to play a royal giant, which honestly is him just showing no respect towards my push. He's already down on elixir, plus playing 4 elixir on a card that obviously can only damage buildings means he's going to be in for a ton of trouble because I'm stacking the right hand side with units. I got the fireball, which I'm going to play in just a second, or my arrows, whatever comes up first. Let's play the fireball. Looks like my giant is going to die, but now I've got a mini P.E.K.K.A. in the left lane. I've got the giant plus the minions in the right lane, and he's sort of just a pick your poison right now, and it looks like he's going to pick the wrong one because the knight's going to slap that tower down and give us the very first crown of the game. So a minute and 10 seconds left. We can sort of just play defense from here on out, but as you guys know from the last battle, I like to get greedy, so with 3 seconds left before the double elixir starts, I'll just play another elixir collector, and let's see what he drops. He's going to drop his royal GG. So again, knight plus the cannon or the mini P.E.K.K.A. plus the cannon will be able to sniff that out. And from here, I don't know what else he's going to be able to do. I'm just waiting for him to play, and since he's not playing anything, let's just drop our giant. I love dropping the giant in the very center to see what I can do with it and try to storm that tower down. Of course, he does have the Inferno Tower, so that's going to turn that giant into crisps. We've got the mini P.E.K.K.A., or we've got the knight plus the musketeer in the center, and those are going to die as well. I'm just stocking up elixir collectors because that's naturally how I play, even though maybe not the best idea when I have 30 seconds left in the battle, because obviously I wouldn't get a profit until overtime. Mini P.E.K.K.A. plus a cannon to stop the royal GG yet again. He will get maybe 2 shots off on my tower, but not enough to make really too big of a deal. And at this point, we've got a massive push going down the left-hand lane, and that all but seals up the game with 10 seconds left in the battle. So arrows going down, that should clean up the rest of the troops that he is walking around here. Musketeer might get a shot off on the tower, but that's going to be the game. Elixir Collector to cap it off, and another pretty routine 1 crown to 0 victory. So one more battle using this deck. Again, my knight is only level 12. I think for level 13, you get a pretty, I think it's like 10% damage and HP increase or something like that. But let's get into one more battle against Crusher Sir 2 and assert some more dominance with our knight that we've been showing inside these first couple of battles. So classic elixir collector start. I've got the knight in my hand in case he has a miner or something else he's going to play. I've also got my fireball in case I want to play that against the minions. And since he played those barbarians, finally we can make that play. We've got the fireball cleaning up 8 elixir worth of troops, getting a 4 elixir positive trade right there. And just from there, we are doing work. And he's going to even play his fireball onto my elixir collector. And since he did that, I did the math in my head and I could tell that he was low on elixir. So I've got the knight running down the lane. I've got the mini P.E.K.K.A., the arrows to help out as well. That probably helped the, I think it helped the ice wizard. I think the ice wizard might have taken 2 shots without the arrows. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to slap away at the tower, and he's going to drop a good game only 45 seconds into the battle. We made some really good plays right there, and obviously him dropping that fireball on my elixir collector was a big no-no because I already had such a massive elixir lead from my very first fireball, and then he just sort of compounded on that fact by making a mistake with that spell card. So let's go for another push down the right-hand lane. I'm just going to go to end the game. Honestly, both of the towers have pretty similar HP, so I'm not going to get too crazy and go for the left-hand lane too much. Obviously, my mini P.E.K.K.A. was on defense, and now it's going to start running down the lane. And with his minions running towards my tower, I'm going to have to try to arrow those bad boys out as well. But still, Giant on the right-hand side, sort of sneaking up on him. I know the Giant's a pretty big unit, but it looks like it's sneaking down the lane. I've got the Musketeer ready to drop right afterwards, and he's going to play his Barbarians. I was hoping he would give me a pretty simple 3-crown-to-0 victory, so I wouldn't have to work for it, but it looks like nothing's going to come free. I've got my Knight, which I'll play in front of the Barbarians, and it looks like the Knight will actually kill that Ice Wizard, plus defend one of the Barbarians against my Musketeer, so that's going to take it all the way down, and a Fireball is going to help out against that Princess as well. So the tower's going to get really low. It's down to 1685. One more Giant push should be enough to seal up this game with a minute left. I'm settling for nothing less than three crowns in this battle, so let's just go ahead and be aggressive with the Giant down the right-hand lane. So Giant's going to plop down. We get the mini P.E.K.K.A. to back it up. He's going to drop the Royal GG. I'm not even worried about it. I'm just going to let my Giant and my mini P.E.K.K.A. run down the lane. The arrows are going to help out. Should be able to hit those minions as well. And even though my Musketeer died, one last slap from the mini P.E.K.K.A. will wrap up the game and give us a 3-crown-to-0 victory. So good game against Crusher Sir 2. Pretty interesting name from America's Elite. He's got nothing else but a laugh face to drop on me for 18 trophies. And yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys think the Knight is decent, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I think he definitely has a place in the game. Obviously, the Valkyrie is a way better card, all things considered, but that one less elixir can make a difference for when you're trying to save your tower from an opposing push. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.